Planner Paul Fain is here to tell us what makes sense. So is now the time to sell your mutual fund?
Well, it certainly could be. But, you know, you have to realize, Brittany, that your mutual fund might be down 35% or 40% or 45%, and it's our human nature to want to blame someone for the loss. So how about you, Mr. or Mrs. Mutual Fund Manager? But that throws almost all the mutual funds in the same bucket. It puts them all on the chopping block because they all performed miserably. So you've got some really talented, respected fund managers, companies like Dodge & Cox and Vanguard and the American funds and Fidelity. They all had miserable years last year. So, you know, you really got to look under the hood a little deeper before you just say, I lost money, I'm firing that mutual fund.
So what should you look at then?
Well, I think one of the traditional questions is, you know, would I hire that same mutual fund manager today, you know, being assumptive that you still own that fund. But I think it's even easier to back up a little bit and say, what if I was in 100% cash right now? Would I buy that mutual fund? That sometimes frees our mind from all the pain of last year to say, you know what, based on all the history and the ratings, yeah, I would still buy that fund. You know, you want to own mutual funds that are a compelling buy now. So if you had a good fund that had an absolutely horrible year and is off 40%, you know, you'd be compelled to want to add more to that good fund. You know, it's like going out shopping. When something's you really want or need that's quality is off 40%, we're excited to go buy it. Well, your investments really shouldn't be looked at any differently. Now's the time of year that all the mutual fund managers are sending out their annual reports. So read those first 2, 4, 5 pages that are intentionally commentary, not, you know, overwhelming math. And, you know, I particularly like to read from the mutual fund managers that just tell the truth. This is the things that went well last year. These are the things that we did absolutely horribly. And lastly, tax implications. You know, there might be a reason to sell, take a loss, and then wait 30 days, what we call the wash sale rules, and maybe even buy the same fund back.
In this time, are there certain safe investments right now that you might gear people towards instead of others?
Well, I think, you know, safety has to be looked at in the context of two things. One is the safety of money that we're going to need in the short term. Money markets, CDs, short-term bonds, and then the safety of our long-term financial security, which, you know, inflation's been doubling our cost of living about once every 15 years. So safety in that respect means investments that are going to keep us, you know, ahead of inflation. And people have a hard time digesting this, but that's the stock market, it's the real estate market, it's commodities. So we really still need to be blending those diversified portfolios.
All right. Thanks very much for all your advice, Paul. We appreciate it.
Sure enough.
Have a good morning.